Hi, everybody. This is Vinnieart. I'm the co-creator of Through the Woods, co-creator of The Ghostly Manor on Howling Hill, creator of City of Venus, Dead City, which is still live right now, and a couple of art books. Tonight, I have on Raven Monroe, and we're going to be talking about her campaign, her project, Machi, the Lazy Witch. Did I say that right?
Yes, sir.
All right, cool. Raven, if you'd like to introduce yourself, go ahead.
Sure thing. First of all, thanks for having me. Second,
No problem.
hi, I'm Raven Monroe. I'm an artist located in sunny San Diego. I'm originally from Arkansas, the middle of nowhere. So I'm in a whole different place now. But I'm working on my series, my first series right now, called Machi the Lazy Witch, which is live on Indiegogo. We did it on Kickstarter in October, and it did really well. And now we're over to Indiegogo to satisfy everybody else who missed out. So we've got a whole bunch of new exclusives, and I keep saying we, but it's just me. I don't know why I keep saying we.
I know how that is. All right. Oh, let me hit share screen, and we'll show your campaign. There we go.
Ta-da!
Yeah. So, what did get you out of Arkansas?
I ended up joining the Marine Corps. So that was like the only way to escape my little town was either join the Marine Corps or pray that Santa takes you back to the North Pole with him. But so I took the first.
Or rob a bank.
Oh yeah. Not necessarily. There's still not much money in the banks there. So.
Oh geez. Oh, we got a few people in chat.
Hey, hello.
Want to say hello to them. James Hayes. He's always dropping links. Great dude. El Gargoyle. If you do happen to see them, say "Hail Boner King." That was a war campaign reference. Because Roe, the dude who kind of runs that, he really liked my artwork a lot.
Oh yeah. Oh yep.
And they kind of they labeled me that, which is fine.
Hey, there you go. He's still a king, so that works, I
guess. Yeah, right. Royalty. But yeah, I want to thank everyone who's popping up. I'll be showing like what they say here and there. If they have any questions, I'll be featuring it here and there. But so yeah, we'll go over your campaign if you want to talk about it. Let us know what this project is, how it came about. The floor is yours.
All right. I'm usually not that good about talking about my own stuff, so forgive me. So this right here is my baby. This is Machi the Lazy Witch. It's issues 1 and 2. Issue 1 is 32 pages, and issue 2 is looking to be 36. It was meant to be 32, but I ended up adding a couple of more pages because why not?
More pages is going to be something that people want.
You're right. And they're not paying any more for it, so surprise.
Exactly. That's great.
But Machi the Lazy Witch follows the story of Machi, who's a young witch heading off to her first year of college at the Pendleton Art Institute for Gifted Witches. She's accompanied by her older sister, Raina, who is a senior student. She has 1 year left until graduation, and Machi is joining her on her first year. So after Machi's first year, Raina will be gone and she'll be left all on her own in this big, scary art industry in a magical world.
Nice.
So Machi's first year is just going over general studies, learning how to hone her magic and exploring the world full of fun little creatures and whatnot. Year 2, she has to dedicate to her official degree. So our little indecisive lazy witch gets to pick, what is she going to do with the rest of her life? Which I'm really excited to share with you guys because that's a whole journey that quite a few people can relate to.
Oh, very cool. Yeah, I'm sure. I like the manga style that you have too. It kind of it's very kid friendly as well.
Right, and I try to keep it friendly to all ages. So even though it does address college, there's no drinking, there's no violence, there's no nudity, there's nothing crazy. There is plagiarism, which is scary. But other than that, that's it.
Nice. That's cool. So
it's available.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. It's available in both English and Spanish as well. So if you back any of the tiers and you're like, hey, I want to get the physical in English, but I want the digital in Spanish, you can do that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And it's hesitant right now, but we are looking to get it translated into Japanese as well. So it's it's on the blackboard.
That's
Check mark
gonna be a
that.
smart move. You're one of the, I think, the first artists, creators who are doing bilingual or different languages on their books from that I'm aware of. I haven't come across anyone else who's been doing that.
If anyone out there is working on a comic currently, I highly recommend it. Finding a translator is not that difficult. There's all sorts of resources online. I was lucky enough to get a hold of my high school friend Stacy Rivera, and I was like, "Girlie, can you help me?" Because she's a native speaker, and she was like,
Oh, nice.
yeah." So she was gracious enough to help me out with her skills because I didn't do too well in Spanish, so I needed some help.
That's very cool. Cool. Tell us about the rewards.
Right. So, going from the rewards, for $2, you get the friendly familiar tier. This kind of gives you a taste into the series. It gives you the first issue digital PDF, as well as a digital wallpaper and a random icon. So you could use it as a profile picture for Twitter or Facebook, or put it in your emails, whatever you want to do with it. It's a fun little icon that you can use, and you have a chance of getting 1 out of 4. So there's still a little bit of random fun. Thanks, Gus. Appreciate that, man.
Yeah, very cool.
And then the next tier is the Broom Buddies. For $8, you get both copies, both PDF copies of issues 1 and 2. You get the digital wallpaper, the random icon, and then here's the cool thing. You get a physical reward. You get a physical item. I had a bunch of trading cards made of characters specifically for this tier. All of them say Indiegogo exclusive at the bottom. Nice. So you get a chance of getting 1 out of 12 cards, and 2 of the cards are rare. So you have a chance of getting a rare one, even at backing $8.
Very cool. So, all right. So that's Indiegogo exclusive. Did you have any exclusives on Kickstarter?
I did. Yes, I had a whole set exclusive to Kickstarter.
Oh, nice.
And then I completely redid them for Indiegogo. They're way different now.
And how did the campaign do over there?
It did really well. It was fully funded by the 19th day. We were able to reach 2 stretch goals. And it went really well, and fulfillment started happening as soon as the campaign ended. I started sending out PDFs that same day on Halloween. That's how I spent all my Halloween.
Congrats! I was working too my Halloween. I had a kid book that I literally ran a campaign for about 20 days.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, it was the Ghostly Manor, that one.
Oh, nice.
It was like little kid monsters. I did it in a completely different style. I did it kind of Disney esque. But yeah.
Oh, awesome.
My brother had actually written the story, so it was all in rhyme. It was a cool little thing. I hit my goal pretty fast as well. Thanks to Ethan Van Sciver. He helped with the big push.
Oh,
Red Days. It was really awesome. But again, it was a short campaign, so I wasn't expecting anything huge out of it. But it did well for what it was, and the people got it. They really enjoyed it.
You can't go wrong with Halloween monsters around Halloween. It just makes sense.
Exactly. I wish I had that campaign running just at least a month earlier.
Oh yeah, I feel that.
Yeah, but it's I was doing fulfillment on City of Venus, which is still live right now. So by the time I finished that, I jumped onto that campaign right after, and it was all right, we got 20 days. Let's make something happen.
Oh, man. And managing a campaign, it's so much work. And then going to a new one, I can only imagine.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, we got a question.
Oh.
Never mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think there's going to be any...
Unfortunately, not in this batch. The 12 have been predetermined, and they're shown below, but it's an idea.
I saw part of that on Billy Tucci's stream with you the other day, so I'm like, yeah, that's not happening, but it was a good question. Had I known earlier if she wanted it, maybe. But
it's always next time.
Of course, yeah. I'm always willing to help out other artists and creators. There's a couple of covers and things I'll be doing with other people as well. So,
that'd be awesome.
Yeah, that's usually it. I'm available for that kind of thing. To do interiors is another story. With I know a lot of artists and writers are looking for that with projects, but right now I only have 1 or 2 books that I might be doing some interiors on, or that I'm doing interiors for somebody, but I can't talk about it.
Oh no, NDA.
Yeah, I know. But we took a detour. So let's get back to the to the rewards. I think you're
Right.
doing Best Buds.
Yeah, Best Buds. This comes with the first physical copy of issue 1. So that's all 32 pages in full color. There's a little bonus comic as well. I always keep forget to mentioning this. There's a little bonus comic done in like an older Sunday morning cartoons kind of newspaper vibe. You know what I mean? Like old Garfield. My brother, Peyton Monroe, he does this little comic. So it's also included. So in the physical, you get all those
Very cool.
goodies. You get a 3-inch tall sticker, so it's a pretty big sticker, and 2 trading cards, as well as all the digital rewards available in English or Spanish or whatever you'd like.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Very cool.
And for the next tier, grabbing goodies, this one was kind of specifically made with the people who backed the Kickstarter in mind, because I personally, I love backing campaigns. I love supporting artists and creators. And when I back a campaign and I see that they have it available somewhere else with different merch, I often just kind of want that new merch, you know? Like, I've already backed it once. I just want the new stuff.
Oh yeah.
So that's what I did here. It's like, I don't know if I'd want to pay money, you know, for 4 copies of a comic, you know, like maybe I just want the mug and all the trading cards and, you know, stickers and a poster done by
Nice.
Luho. Like, why not? So
Very cool. Oh, but by the way, yeah, you did send me some of the artwork for this book, and I wanted to say, yeah, I saw your brother's artwork in there too. Very cool.
Oh,
Yeah,
Buzz.
Peyton did a nice job too on that little story that he did.
Thank you. He's
Very cool.
really excited to work on it. It's so cute. He's in animation school right now, and oh my gosh, he's just improving in leaps and bounds. And I'm like,
cool. Shout out.
Yeah, shout out to Peyton.
All right, let's get to the next one.
Yeah. Next here is same price, $35. This is just both copies of the book. So for $35, you can either get all of the merch or all of the comic goodies. So that's both issues of the comic with the brand new Indiegogo exclusive covers. Forgot to mention that. Nice. Then you get 5 trading cards, like 5 whole trading cards. It's crazy. That's like almost half the set.
Very
Got
good.
a good chance of getting a rare one in that one.
Nice. I like all the different options you have in prices too.
Thank you.
That's very good. I mean, and for $2 alone, yeah. I mean, if it's just for like a little kid or something, and they just want to check it out, I think anyone could reach in their pocket for that. But again, you know, it's a very good variation you got here. And
Thank you.
Well, yeah. Jumping back to now we get the $75 tier.
Yeah, we jump up to $75 once we add the mug, the poster, and the glow-in-the-dark covers. So these covers have a special glow-in-the-dark paint that I do myself, and then I protect it and everything and sand it out. A little bit of a labor of love, but you get a really cool like glow-in-the-dark cover. So
wow, that's crazy. Oh, wait, we got another.
Oh, the artist I had do the poster, yeah, her name is Luho. She's amazing. And then I did the art for the comic itself, but Luho did the gorgeous poster, and I love Luho's work. Like,
nice. Such
a sweetheart.
Awesome. Very cool.
And then the final tier is the massive Dean's List.
This is for those big collectors.
Yes, this is for like the prime collectors. We have an issue 1 non-glow in the dark, graded by CGC, available in this tier. And now for this tier, of course, CGC, they rate it 1 out of 10. If the comic for whatever reason comes back as like a 7 or, you know, like a lower rating, I'm completely prepared to send that back and have it redone at no charge to the customer, because I want this to be perfect.
That's amazing.
And then you also get a character cameo, either you or your character. Of course, I can't do any like, you know, characters that are under copyright or things like that. But you could have you or your character, you know, show up in the comic as a cameo or even a permanent character, depending on like what their story is. So if they fit the story, we can add them in, you know.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's a good little tier.
Thank you.
So
and these are all the cards.
Those cards are cool. I like the bear as well. Yeah, these are neat.
The top 2 are the rare ones. And then the little pink guy is actually by my brother, Peyton. So that's the character from his little mini series in Machi.
That's sweet. That's really cool. So yeah, tell us a little bit about each of them if you want.
Right. So we have Machi in the very top with a little pumpkin bun. That's our main character. We get to see her go through all of life and all of college, struggling hard to adapt and keep up. College was never her first choice, but it was either that or let her parents down and live at home. And she was not going to let that happen. So she decided to jump into college and try to follow in her sister's shadow the best she can. Speaking of, right next to her, we have Raina with the little pink strawberry bun. And Raina's super talented. She's incredibly smart, but she's not flaunty of it. She's aware that, like, I'm not perfect. I'm not going to overexert myself. But she's a very hard worker, and she's very well respected amongst the students.
Cool.
Yeah. And then, well, I suppose you can just point to whichever character you'd like, and I'll tell you a bit about them.
Yeah, let's get to the next female.
All right.
And we'll jump over to the other side, the pumpkin.
Sounds good. So the girl with the darker hair, that's Sumir. She is one of the top students in the school. So the institute has a system where the top 7 students are called the Sacred 7. And they're basically guaranteed job placement after graduation, which, with colleges, it's like, oh, that's a big deal. So getting into the Sacred 7 is an honor and what you want to strive for. And Sumir, she's in the Sacred 7, but she's one of the kinder students. She's best friends with Raina, so we get to see Sumir a lot. She's one of the kinder, more nurturing characters in the story.
Nice. Very cool. Yeah. Tell us about this pumpkin. I'm curious on this one.
This is our groundskeeper, Kukurbo. He's just a big old lump of pumpkin doing his best. He doesn't speak, unfortunately, since he's just an enchanted pumpkin. But he tends to the flowers and the students as well as he can. His partner in crime is actually the Black Crow character.
Oh, nice. So wait, do we find out who actually enchanted the pumpkin?
You do. You find out in issue 3.
Oh, nice. So this is definitely like, for what would you say, like the youngest age to like the eldest, I guess.
I believe the current youngest fan that Machi has right now is 6 years old, but we had someone say that they were going to get it for their 3-year-old niece. So possibly as young as 3. The text is big and easy to read. There aren't too many hard words, but of course it is magic, so you might need to explain that a little bit. Right. But other than that, I'd say it's safe for all ages.
Beautiful. So it's does it get very complicated, or is it kind of it flows easy for somebody, like, if they want to get it for kids, if they want to get it for themselves?
It's an easy read. I'd say it's more of a slice of life. There's nothing too crazy. We don't have alternate dimensions or things like that. It's a pretty steady, linear story. So I'd say it's safe for everyone. It's a pretty simple, smooth read.
That's cool. It's very cool.
Thank you.
All right. So all right. Let's get to the one with the baseball hat.
Right. That is Aspen, and Aspen she's Machi's best friend. Machi is like this bubbly, nervous character, and Aspen is she's a bit of a hothead, but she knows what she's doing and she's confident about it.
So this is the one who's going to get her into trouble.
Yeah. Absolutely. And we get to see that in issue 2, actually.
Nice. So tell us about the little jelly character in the bear here.
Right. So this here is a jelly spirit. So in Machi, everything's magic. I should probably backtrack a bit and explain that. So in Machi, everyone is born with a little bit of magic. Like, they can project it from their hands, like do something simple like lift a pen or, move some paper, small things. But to amplify your power, you need a wand. And you can only get a wand with a college degree. That's why Machi's going to college, to get her wand.
Nice. And
you can, of course, train your projection and things like that as you're growing up, but not a lot of people do. They often I'll just wait till I go to college. And that's where Machi is. So this little jelly spirit, if you were to go to the college and have a degree in, say, animation in Machi's world is the same as reanimation, where you animate like a doll or a golem or something. Okay. And you can either create your own spirit using projection and spells, or you can buy pre-made ones at the equivalent of PetSmart. So that's where our little jelly spirit guy is from. He is from the back alley dumpster of a little place called Salem Souls, where he was tossed out for being a weird looking color. But what they didn't know was that the color was pretty important. And you get to find out more about that later on.
Nice. Yeah, that's cool. So she stumbles upon him, and
Yep.
so yeah, so she kind of saves him, and it sounds like he's gonna end up helping her a lot or saving her.
It's exactly that way. I was just finishing up one of the pages where she's looking at him and she looks over at the dumpster and back at him and she goes, "Looks like we're in the same boat." So
I think you're speaking to everybody, especially if you're an artist. Like, what's going on here? Tell us about these little mushrooms.
Right. So the little mushrooms, you get to see them on the cover of issue 1. They're just like in every story, there's a bunch of like creatures that just kind of inhabit the world. And in Machi, there's all sorts of random weird ones, and these just so happen to be some random weird ones. They're little glow mellows, and they kind of just they grow huge, like they can grow to the size of a human child, and they just kind of
Oh,
dwell in the
wow.
forest where witches live.
That's cool. Maybe all little and harmless or gigantic.
Yeah. But they don't do anything bad. They just exist and glow. So if you don't want
Right.
them outside your bedroom window, you know.
Right. Well, yeah, it's the whole world is magical, so
Mhm.
you're gonna have fun little elements and stuff like that, which is
Yeah.
neat. All right,
A lot of potential.
Who's this older dude?
This is Smilin' Bob, and Smilin' Bob is actually based off of my godfather, Smilin' Bob Lewis, from the band Tyrannosaurus Chicken. He passed earlier this year and broke my heart. So
I'm sorry.
you know, it's life. He had the greatest life, though. He was such an influence to so many people and just so kind-hearted. And I wanted so desperately for everyone to be able to experience that, like just the joy he brings. Yeah. So I've included him in Machi as he's essentially the pair of familiars. So witches and familiars. He like helps them find the one. Yeah.
That's a beautiful tribute. That's really nice.
Thank you.
I like that. So it's kind of like the that one character who in Harry Potter, he gets the wizards with the correct wands.
Right. It's similar too.
Nice. Yeah. I think it's cool to have those little elements that people are kind of familiar with or kind of, you know, pay a little bit of respect to. I think that type of element in storytelling is a good thing for sure.
It's important.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I have stuff like that throughout my projects as well. If it's just something that inspired me or I thought was a really neat idea, I do my own take on it as well. So that's really cool.
Yeah. Thank you.
So who's this last character?
This is Violet, and Violet and Aspen, they are sisters. Violet comes from a huge family, and of course Aspen, you know, by proxy does too. They come from a family with like 6 sisters, so they're huge. And Violet is the eldest, and she's one of the Sacred 7, but she's a bit more of a nasty character. She's mean about it. She knows what she wants, and she's not afraid to make a statement to get it. So we get to see her in issue 2 and her relationship with Aspen and how she's kind of like perceived on campus and everything.
Mm-hmm. That's cool.
Is this like in reality too?
Yeah. Is it in its own world or exists like in our reality too? But yeah, what's the
I would say that it's kind of in its own world since there's so many different magical creatures, but it's not, I wouldn't say futuristic. It's more modern setting, so people have cell phones and things like that.
Gotcha. So,
yeah, like Harry Potter, yeah.
Very cool. Neat. So, here's the mug. That's I like that.
Thank you.
The lazy witch, the yawning there. Someone needs their coffee.
Oh, yes.
But that's cool. So wait, yeah, which tier was that on again?
The mug first
35.
appears, on the 35. You can get it with all the other goodies, all the trading cards, posters, and all that jazz, or you can get it again at the $75 tier, which has the glow-in-the-dark goodies.
Nice. Or the big collector's slot.
Yeah, and there's not too many of those available left. It's filling up.
Oh, yeah. 3 out of 8.
Yeah.
Get
Very
on
fortunate.
it. All right, cool. All right, so these were done by your brother?
Yeah, these are the icons he knocked out for me. And it's so funny. I asked him, I said, pick 4 of your favorite characters from these 2 issues. And he picked the exact same 4 that I did for the Kickstarter. So I'm like, okay, draw them in your style. And he did.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, it's fun. So I'm assuming you both get along very well.
Oh, yeah. I love my brother. He's the best.
Awesome. Yeah, because I work with my brother here and there. And yeah, sometimes we butt heads.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it was. I think it was worse in the beginning, years ago, but it's mellowed out, and yeah, I think things have been going good.
There you go.
Yeah,
It's
because
all
I'm
about, reaching a steady flow.
oh, totally. Yeah, because we had that ghost story, which is actually my icon, through the woods.
Hmm.
It was my very first campaign on Indiegogo, and it's before like I had any kind of fan base on Twitter or YouTube. Because I honestly had no idea that it was Twitter and YouTube that have the majority of like the buying audience, um, and that kind of unity. I really had no clue. So when I launched it, like I didn't know what to expect. I put a crazy number for a goal. I really knew nothing about crowdfunding. Heard the wrong information,
Oh no.
but like in the end, like we still did good numbers. So anyone who backed the book, they got it. It was I fulfilled everybody,
There
but
you go.
no one could really buy it anymore. So I figured after a couple of campaigns, and my newest one's been doing so well, I'm going to be relaunching Through the Woods.
Ooh.
In 2020. I'm kind of on the fence about if I should do it before Christmas or after, because a lot of people said, "Oh, don't do a campaign around Christmas time. Not that many people buy." But I've been seeing other campaigns doing well, and it's before Christmas.
True. That was my biggest fear launching around this time too, but it was either launch now or wait until next year, and it's you got to stay relevant. It's the hardest
Yeah,
thing.
that's true. Oh, there's my friend Red Gaze. He's saying
Hi,
after. He's been saying after.
Red.
So I don't know. Red, if you want a link, let me know, and I could drop you one if you want to come hang out.
Come say hi.
Um, yeah, he's a good dude. Awesome guy. He's got a great YouTube channel as well. Oh, Joe Frago.
Joe Frago. Hey,
He's cool.
Joe.
Yeah, he drops by all the time too. Great guy.
He's so funny. I love him.
He is. He's awesome. But yeah. So, did I miss anything in here? I know I veer off here and there sometimes.
No worries, no worries. It's good to have fun flowing conversation. That's about
Oh,
it. There's that poster from Luho. She's amazing. She has like such sparkly artwork. I love her so much.
yeah, definitely. There's lots of sparkles there.
All the glitter, all the glitter. It's the best. And then there's this little illustration I did when Machi's Kickstarter had fulfilled. I ended up drawing 106 marbles to represent the 106 people who backed the campaign.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Very
And
nice.
that's getting added to everyone's order as like a little print, like a little post print.
That's really cool. See, yeah, doing the little extras is also a very good move. Um, I have a couple of things in mind for my next campaign. I want to do it like as I guess I hit stretch goals, but
Oh yeah.
there's a big one I have in mind that I'm not letting people know about yet. It's when
Oh
I
yeah.
launch. It's when I launch the campaign. I'll give them a good surprise.
All right,
Um,
all right. Gotta
but
look forward to that.
yeah. So, hold on. Let me, if you want to keep chatting a little bit more, I'm gonna give Red the link. Find it in there. That should be the correct link. All right. He'll be in about 5, which is cool.
Woo!
So,
Well, you said you have a campaign too, man. Can we take a look at it?
yeah.
All
It's
right.
City of Venus, Dead City.
Oh,
So,
that art.
yeah, I put a whole lot of work into this.
You
So,
can tell that looks great. So, can you tell us about it?
yeah, this one's a post-apocalyptic action story. It's sci-fi, obviously. It's set very far into the future, where all technology is dead except for that floating city in the sky. So our main character, she kind of wakes up on a rooftop, not knowing how she got there or what's going on. This world doesn't really look familiar to her. Um, yeah, hold on. Well, this just kind of represents a good shot of what I'm talking about. So everything's pretty much destroyed. So the way that I approached this was, if there's been tons of wars and different things happening over the years, the centuries, like they would rebuild, but then something extra bad would happen, and then it'd be destroyed again. So one really big event happens, and kind of levels or destroys most of this kind of city. Um, But the people in charge and the ones in power are villains. They're up in that floating city. Um, Hold on. Oh yeah, here's a better shot of the city itself.
Oh
But
wow.
their thing is, since they have all the power, they control anything and everything. Like if there's any technology that is used on the regular ground, um, they're aware of it. They're notified, and they send out like units or different ships. Because what they want to do is they want to get survivors. If they find anybody, they want to do experiments on them because
Oh
they want
no.
to prolong their lives, and they're not.
Um.
Yeah, they don't have the guts to do it on themselves. Um, so yeah, they're going to try it on the people who are kind of still around, which is very few now. There's not many left, but in most cases, or almost all cases, they're failed experiments, so they toss them back down. So you're going to see people who kind of look like zombies or monsters. This person isn't. This is one of the regular ones. She's like a scavenger who lives underground. There's like a little group of them. It's not huge. They're very small numbers, and they're supposed to be going out kind of in pairs. But she ventured out by herself, and our main character, she kind of stumbles upon her, um, and their introduction is greeted with one of the failed experiments, a zombie-ish person.
Ooh.
So yeah, I'm gonna have a lot of different surprises in this book. Um, I mean, most people, pretty much everybody who's backed it has gotten it, except for the whoever backed it today. They're going to be getting. I'll be mailing those out tomorrow.
Ooh.
But I'm very fast with my fulfillment. I'm like 2 to 3 days if you're in the States. If you're overseas, it takes a little bit longer, but you'll get them right away. The quality is super high on these, very thick stock. The paper, the cover, I went with the highest quality possible on these, which I think it really helps too with the art. Since I put so much work into it, I didn't want to go with cheap paper. I didn't want to go
Oh
with
yeah, no. You wanna have a perfect package there with that art and the way it's delivered. Yes, sir.
absolutely, absolutely, and it also helps too with the shipping if it's more sturdy.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
So again, like I have some fun surprises, new characters and things are going to be popping up, and I'm going to have different versions or um, of these kind of failed experiments. So these are the kind of the zombie type. There's going to be other groups. Some are more dangerous than others. But yeah, these specifically, they're kind of more aggro. Um, they're not necessarily looking to eat flesh. They're like confused and lost.
Oh
Um,
no.
yeah, because it's different. Like I didn't want to do a straight up zombie story. A lot of people think that's what it is, but it's not. The Dead City is kind of more about the city itself, and
Mm-hmm.
that there's like nothing really there. And then yeah, they kind of add to it.
There you go.
But our character, she has a unique connection to the floating city, and she has kind of like this bracelet that she doesn't know what it is, how it got on her. Like her memory is very fuzzy, but it's going to be coming back here and there. Issue 2 is going to have more of her backstory, so people are aware of it. But yeah, so these are some of the other villains I have in the book. Um, yeah, the ones in the floating city, they think of themselves as kind of like royalty. You know,
Mm.
it's that whole idea of like those secret organizations they say who rule the world and they make all the decisions, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Like the New World Order or whatever. So I took that concept and I kind of brought it to the extreme. So it's like, what if they did get their way? They would destroy the world. So, and they think that they're above everyone. So I literally put them above everybody.
Ah, there we go.
But in this story, I'm going to show how they got there, why that city's even floating up there. Like I'll get into all of that throughout this series. So that's the cool thing.
Heck
Um,
yeah.
but with this campaign as well, I do have a special, an exclusive, which is my Volume 2 art book. It's a 52-page art book. I have all different stuff in there from pinup, comic book, movie, video game type stuff. So these are some of the samples of that art that's in the art book. Um, so
Good night.
yeah. So I have Greek mythology, pinup stuff.
Oh, that's so cute.
Yeah, it's I had a couple different versions. For a while I had a series of Alice pinups and pieces I was doing for like conventions. So I actually had one before she went through the doorknob, and then one after, and this is the after. So her tears. So I had it like running down her face, but since she got soaked, I had her drying off her dress out of the bottle.
I love it. I love it.
So yeah, I did a lot of fun stuff. So you'll see all sorts of artwork in here. And if anyone who's followed me on, because I had a big following on DeviantArt. I'm Vinrock on DeviantArt. So people have seen a lot of my different things. So I've had like when I've gone to conventions, I've met celebrities and things like that. So like you'll see a Jason Momoa piece in here. From a certain show that was very famous that ended last year. Oh wait, we got Red here. I didn't see him. Hey Red,
What's up? What's
how
up?
you doing?
Excellent. How are you?
Pretty good. We got Raven. We're doing a spotlight on her tonight.
Awesome. Nice to meet you, Raven.
Nice to meet you as well, Mr. Red.
He's very cool. He's got a great channel. He kind of hits everything on like kind of pop culture and what's going on.
Oh, nice.
By the way, Vinny, the way you stay relevant through December is what you're doing right now, buddy. This YouTube channel.
Awesome.
Hey.
Well, that's good. Well, it's not even so much about being relevant. I just kind of I want to pull the trigger so badly on Through the Woods.
I know you do.
Because I've been getting a lot more people messaging me, especially this week. So it's like I hate to make anybody wait, but I want to try to find the best time to kind of launch that.
Hey, listen, I'm one of the people waiting, and you know this.
Yeah, you know that. You know that.
I want you to do what's best for you.
Thanks, man. But yeah, I'm finishing up the cover on the main cover because I have two I'm going to be doing. I did a test print to check out the trade paperback itself, and I took one of my famous images and I made it the cover. And I'm like, okay, this is going to be a variant because it printed too beautifully. So yeah, my new cover I showed it on a couple of streams this week. And the video I have before this conversation. After this conversation, anyone wants to take a look at my channel, I have a little update. I did like an 8-minute video, so you guys can check it out there. But yeah, so lots of cool stuff happening. But tonight we want to really make sure that Raven's book gets fully funded. I think we could do it. She's at 1361. She needs 1,500. So
90%. Just today, someone backed on the Dean's List tier, and it tossed it right up to 90%. And I was like, "Whoa!" And I reached out to them, and I was like, "Thank you so much. I love you. I appreciate you."
That's really cool.
Hey, Hardboiled Entertainment has a good question. Because I came in late also. He said, "Is Raven an artist, the writer, or both?"
Both. I did the writing and the art. I had it edited by a friend, and then my brother did the bonus comic at the very end of the story, which is a whole separate thing, which is like just a cute little Sunday comic strip type thing.
Yeah,
awesome.
Yeah. And Raven actually, she sent me the PDF, and it does look beautiful. This is perfect. Yeah, for any young reader, anyone who's into magic, anime, kid stuff. This is super awesome.
Thank you.
Oh, my pleasure. That's why I like to get on all different creators. I've had people like you name it, any crazy project that's out there right now that's been doing awesome. Cyborg USA.
Oh my goodness, yes.
I mean that's a cool property. I've had on Carla and John Gallagher with their book Grim Reaper. Again, like all different styles, all different things, because I think it's important to get all creators out there. We're all doing the same thing. We're all creating. We're all doing, putting our passion and our heart into this. So I think it's important to get as much exposure for everybody that we can get.
And we truly appreciate it. Like, thank you so much for having me. This is such an opportunity. I'm very grateful.
Oh, absolutely. Like I said, it's my pleasure. Red does a lot of these as well, which is, extra cool. And that's what it's about, So it's a good thing.
For sure. Hit me up. We'll get you on.
Please,
course.
I'd appreciate it.
Yeah,
So since we're all familiar with campaigns and everything, is there anything that you gentlemen look for specifically in a campaign? Like if you were to back one, like what do you specifically look for?
well, I look for clarity for sure, and this is very clean and clear, like
Oh,
what
thank
you
you.
have here. So I have nothing to add to this other than to applaud you.
Oh, thank you. Well, that
um,
means a lot.
yeah, because I've had 4 campaigns now, and each one it's kind of different, and I'm always kind of learning and trying to add more. I'll probably pick your brain too about the extras, um, 'cause-
Absolutely.
because yeah, I'd see what you've been doing here, and the cards, bookmarks, stickers, mugs, things like that.
Mhm.
I know all those little extras help a ton. So
And they're also really fun to make. Like I, excuse me, I've got a bit of a cold. Like I hand make all of my own stickers. So I cut them out individually, piece by piece. And I love that kind of process. Like I love the small details. So it's like, I love doing that kind of stuff. I know it's not everyone's cup of tea, and there are, there are websites that you can use to help you with that. But like personally, for me, it's also therapy.
yeah, that's cool. So yeah, there is enough of a sampling. That's for sure.
Yeah,
Don't
that's just it. Yeah, I look for kind of a clear definition of the story. Like I want to know what's going on.
Yeah.
Artwork for sure.
Oh.
I'm not too judgmental, but it can't look like I drew it. And actually, page count is something I look for also.
What's a good
Yes.
page count?
Well, it kind of depends on what
Mm.
you're going for and what you're charging people.
Right.
Yeah. Also, I don't know. I think average is somewhere in the neighborhood of like 40 to 48. That
That's fair. Yeah.
seems to be the going, what people are really
Yeah.
going for. But there's been some lower, some higher.
Mhm.
If the quality's there, I'll pay the same price personally.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah. I've learned that too going through these campaigns. But that first one, I had released 3 books in one shot, so it was 3 floppies, and like the first one was 32 pages, and the next 2 were 28 each. So that's why I'm doing this new campaign. I'm putting them all together, and it's going to be over 92 pages. So I think that's another reason why I think the numbers will be a lot better than the first time I went around. Also because I have a better fan base now too on these platforms. But yeah, like City of Venus, that one's 32 pages. So that's why I put that I put the art book as an exclusive,
Mm.
right? So a 52-page art book and City of Venus, for a pretty decent price. I
Oh
thought that
yeah.
that's pretty good. And 92 people agreed with me on that.
Yeah.
So I got to say thank you to them as well. But yeah, so like going forward, like any other projects I'm doing, I'm going to make sure that the page count is going to be larger. So after Through the Woods, I have a pirate book that I've been working on. I'm going to
Ooh.
make it closer to like 40 to 50 pages, somewhere
Mm.
around that ballpark. I have more than half of it's done. So I want to make sure that I'm pacing myself correctly. If it's going to be a little bit more, then I'd rather it be more than less.
Right.
So,
Right.
yeah, for any future campaigns or future stories that you're telling
Mhm.
with your characters, yeah, that's always good. But again, you have 64 pages in full color altogether, issues 1 and 2. I think that's great.
Thank you.
So you definitely, for the money, I think that's perfect. You're in the area you need to be. Again, you had what 160 something on Kickstarter.
106 amazing, wonderful people.
106. Well, and that's what I'm saying. So people are aware of that, and again, we're going to get you more exposure. We're doing the best we can. Everyone will.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Oh, absolutely. That's how we retweet anyone and everyone. I know that's one of the first things I do when I get up in the morning, or when I start my work day.
Mhm.
I'll jump on Twitter and just start retweeting. People are kind of either pop up right away in my feed, or people I've been talking to recently. And yeah, so it's a good thing.
Yeah, definitely get yourself out there. Because personally, this is the first time I've seen you.
Yeah, I'm just now getting out of my shell.
Yeah, crawl on out. Yeah, make sure you're visible on Twitter. Just try to stay out of the bullshit. I would definitely recommend that.
I try to keep everything wholesome. Like if you follow my account, I'm just supporting other artists and just trying to promote like, hey, come on, let's just focus on creativity and love. There's no need to be mad. Why be mad?
There you go. There you go.
Absolutely. Yeah. The only times I get heated is when it comes to people who either rip me off or who are hurting the main industry right now.
Yeah. I feel like I'm too small to speak up on that behalf. So I just try to like hang back, and I'm like, I'm just gonna keep promoting these creators and wishing everyone the best.
It's a great thing. Like, see, I wouldn't even get that vocal, but I know, and like with the fan base that's behind me right now too, I'm kind of speaking for them as well. So that's why I'm willing to do that. But again, your book is more for younger adults, kids. So yeah, stay out of any of that nonsense. You don't have to be part of that.
Yeah.
Just keep being positive and doing great things, and you're gonna keep doing well.
Thank you.
Like I said, I saw you on my friend Billy Tucci's channel, so I'm like, oh,
they were so nice. Oh my gosh, I was like so blown away by how kind and how gracious they were as hosts.
Oh, yeah.
I was so nervous. Oh my goodness, I was so nervous.
You did a great job. Billy and Niall are awesome people. I saw you were on Shay, the Red Valkyries.
Oh yeah, I love Shay. She's so sweet.
They're
Just a
cool
great
people
person.
too. So yeah, and that's what I mean. It's about getting you out there. Yeah. So.
And Froggo says he's been sharing it, so maybe it's my fault. Maybe I've just been out of the loop a little bit lately.
There was a question by Hardboiled. He said, when's the deadline to purchase my book? Right. The campaign has 13 days left. I would like to go in demand. We'll kind of see how that works out. I'm still kind of new to Indiegogo, but it will be available for like online purchases. Like if you want to purchase physical copies without the exclusive covers, you'll be able to do so through Wicked Publishing, but that probably won't be around until the February timeframe. So backing it through the Indiegogo is the quickest way to get your hands on it.
Awesome. Yeah. And come on, I think you're gonna be in demand because you have 13 days left and you're very close, 90%.
Have you extended yet?
No, I haven't. I have not. My Twitter handle is raven.m.illu, ILLU, like illustration, but Twitter doesn't let me type all of illustration, so it's just raven.m.illu.
Thanks, Twitter. That's funny. Oh, watch out, Red.
Oh no.
Well, I might like it.
Bitten by the frog.
Oh no.
That's cool. So yeah. So what are some of your influences too? What got you into creating?
Oh my goodness. So when I was little, my aunt signed me up for this Powerpuff Girl subscription, which was like my first physical comic. And I was absolutely smitten with it. And I'm also a collector, so I love collecting things, which is why a lot of my tiers are kind of collector based. So I started like collecting all the Powerpuff Girl comics, and then as I grew up, I started watching a lot of anime and reading a lot of manga. And originally, I wanted to be a mangaka, but American mangakas don't tend to fare too well. So I was like, let's try something, a little more up my alley. So I went to comics, and I ended up meeting Brian Ball, creator of Rags, when I was in college for accounting of all things. We started talking. He was like, yeah, I made a comic. And I was like, you did what? I was like, excuse me, you're living the dream. And he just talked to me, and he was like, you need to just get out there and do it. Like, if you do the art and you do the writing, then there's no reason why you're not doing it, right? And I was like, you're right, my friend. So he kind of like pushed me out there, and I've been going ever since. Been running like little Bambi legs.
That's awesome. Have you been doing any conventions as well?
I haven't done a convention yet. I was so fortunate with it Kickstarter that it overfunded. So I did have a space for funds to be allocated to get me like a booth and, the whole setup for conventions.
Very cool.
So after I finish fulfilling and I can ensure that I have that set amount, I'll be making those purchases to get started on conventions. And I'm very, very excited, but also incredibly nervous.
That's cool. Well, yeah, try to go to local ones first, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But if you could find people or promoters who are just kind of willing to get new creators in there, where you don't have to pay for a table. I know it's a little bit rare, but there are some cool people who are out there. That's your best bet as well. That way you
Oh,
can
that'd be great.
yeah, you get your name out there a little bit more into the local scene, and then like it kind of snowballs a little bit from there. I've seen that happen a number of different times.
Oh man.
Or if a table is pretty cheap, somewhere around 50 to $100,
Mm-hmm.
pull the trigger on that just to get your feet wet.
Oh yeah.
That'd be good advice because I started out slow as well, and then I started doing those monster shows. But like the past year or two, I've cut back tremendously because the crowdfunding takes up more time.
Oh
There's
yes.
more you got to put into it, and I think you get a better end result as well. I've been reaching out, I think, to more fans and making good friends through social media like this and running the campaigns than at the conventions, because the conventions are kind of again, if you could find certain ones that are more geared towards like anime or that type of thing,
Mm-hmm.
it's gonna benefit you a lot. If you have
Right.
prices like those kind of kids, because they don't really have a lot of money.
Yeah, you got to be careful who you market towards. But I see what you're
But
saying, though. Like, there's more of a personal experience when you're talking to people online who you can talk to constantly, not just a one time at a convention. And then they follow your art and they get to see what
right,
future things you're working on. It's so great what we have right now.
of
I'm very
course.
grateful for it.
All right, we have some questions for you, so we'll hit that. Hard boiled, they asked.
Oh boy.
Yeah, who's your favorite Disney princess?
Oh man. I do love myself some Disney, don't get me wrong, but I'm more of a Ghibli fan. So I would say Princess Mononoke. If I can dare say that, but if I have to stick to Disney, my favorite princess isn't even really a princess. It's Sadness from like a Pixar movie, and that's not even Disney. I can't even think of a Disney princess that I really like. I'm sorry. You can assign me one. You can pick one for me. I'll take it.
Who's that one in the bear movie? The one with the red hair.
Lord, I know what you're talking about though. The one with the crazy red hair. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. That's the one I haven't seen, but I love seeing her character design like pop up all over him, like her hair. It's everything.
Check that one out. That one was cool. I seen that one. I think that would kind of be more in your ballpark. I would think. I'm just saying that. I don't know you, but
hey, it works. It works. I wake up and my hair looks like that. There's got to be some sort of a relation.
We got another question.
My gosh, 3 favorite artists. I have so many artists that influence me, but the artist I'm continuously looking at would be artists like Kushtovek Ayla, Russian artist who does a lot of gorgeous anime styles. I love Luigi Torel. He's the artist of Rags. And then Jake Morrison. He does more of like an Adventure Time art style that's super cartoony and fun. And he's not only a great writer, but also like a really good artist. I applied to be his colorist a few months back and I didn't get it, but I still get to enjoy his work. So I'm happy.
Oh yeah, the movie was Brave.
Brave. There we go. Yeah.
That's right. Thank you. Spooky paint.
That's my old handle.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
They stole your handle.
It's okay. They're doing good with it. I'm proud of them. Yeah, that was the name. Yeah.
Yeah. That was a good one. I enjoyed that one.
I gotta give that one a watch.
Yeah, Tangled was good as well.
Oh, Tangled. I loved Tangled. I so good.
Yeah, well, I love the the guy who originally came up with doing that was the main animator from Tarzan.
Oh, that's so good.
I don't know why his name escapes me at the moment, but I know he was going to direct that movie. He did most of the storyboarding for it, and then he got a little bit sick, so someone else took over.
Oh no!
But he still had like a major part to that. I think he's okay now, but
that's good.
Yeah, I love those 2 movies. I thought those were really cool because like my thing is well like you got to remember cartoons were made by adults. They weren't made by kids. So anyone who goes, oh my god, if you like cartoons, you like that kind of thing, that's silly. No, it's not. If it's part of the world that you're in, if you're in entertainment, the toy world, comics, video games, you're in all of it. It's all art. It's all beautiful.
Yeah.
Like
it's not just a genre anymore. It's art. it's a
Yeah.
whole different thing.
Glen Keane, that's it. Yeah, that's the dude.
Oh yeah.
The Tarzan guy. Thanks, Gus. But yeah, so yeah, that's definitely a cool thing. Yeah, so if there's any other questions or things you want to hit, yeah, Red, you got any questions?
Oh, I got all kinds of questions, but you probably already answered them.
There's no harm in revisiting.
Wait, what's up with that coffee mug? What's going on there?
Yeah. So for this campaign, I was able to find a really nice coffee mug that's like painted completely on the inside and the handle's colored. Like it's really cute. It's 15 ounces, so it's pretty huge. You can almost fit a full energy drink in that. And I found a way to do like the water transfers, and you bake that onto the cup, and then you have your own custom cup. So I was like, I should make mugs.
You're doing that yourself?
Almost everything I'm just kind of doing myself here, except for the
crafty.
printing.
Look at you.
Wow. Very, very talented.
Oh,
That's
thank
amazing.
you. It might just be too much free time.
And too much coffee.
Too much, never enough.
Yeah, that's
enough.
not a thing.
I was gonna make espresso. Sorry. I love the Young Frankenstein movie.
Is that the print below that? Is that what's going on the mug?
Yeah, that's going to be on the mug. I wasn't able to find a way to get that exact mug, like to render it on. I didn't have Photoshop at the time. I mean, now I do. So I should go back in and revisit that. But yes, so that is the illustration that'll be on the mug, and it's going to wrap all the way around.
Cool. Very cool.
And you made sure to like your numbers that you're asking for will cover everything.
Yes.
Shipping and all that.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm, as much as I adore art, I also adore numbers and planning, which is kind of a weird mix. So I made a massive Excel sheet of everything that it would cost me. If I were to order in bulk, what would I save if I had to order individually? So I ordered like with worst case scenario. So everything will be covered.
Wow. Very good.
Joe Farago, yes, would like you to speak on your military experience.
Oh, I was in the Marine Corps for a little bit. I was stationed in 171 Iwakuni, Japan, mainland Japan. I was right below Hiroshima. So I got to spend some time there, and I wanted to go to Japan since I was little, and getting to do it as a Marine was also really cool. So It was like best of both worlds.
What got you to go there to begin with, to want to be a Marine?
So I grew up in like a very, very small town, and the town itself, it's something out of a Tim Burton movie. You go there and the color's gone. It's just such a sad place. And the only way to really escape it, because it's such a poor state, is to either have a rich family member take you out and give you a new life, or join the military and tough it out yourself. So that's what I opted for. And me being the ambitious little bunny I am, I chose the Marine Corps of all branches. And I went on in. I went to boot camp in, I think it was like August. I graduated in November. So November time frame is always special for me.
Wow, that's amazing.
It was pretty wild. It was pretty fun. There's a whole lot of stories, but I'm not gonna go into everything.
I guess not on this stream. We'll have another stream.
You have to get my cup of coffee when we have that one.
Yeah. We'll go over crazy stories. Red knows I have a ton of them.
Oh, sweet. Perfect.
But so I want to say thank you for your service as well.
Oh, thanks.
That's amazing.
I didn't do too much. I just operated the forklift. So I always thank people who are out doing things, like the FedEx guy is doing more than I felt like I ever did. So I appreciate him.
You did your part.
Exactly.
I did what I could.
So the person who stole your old handle has a question.
Wait, is that your face too? Did they steal your face as well?
What's going on there?
They're like a fan account, and I love them. They're very precious to me. I had to explain this earlier too. I was like, it's not me, I promise. But it is also my face. Don't get confused. They asked how much did Harry Potter have a role in the creation of Machi? Obviously, as you can tell, it's very, very heavily inspired by Harry Potter. Growing up, I was obsessed with it. I wasn't able to like read the books, unfortunately, even though I'm like a really big reader. But I binged the movies. Every Christmas, I rewatched them all. And I loved like the day-to-day life in Harry Potter, you know, like, oh, we're gonna go visit the candy shop, or oh, we're gonna go do this. I wasn't so much as enthusiastic about like the overall daunting story, which, don't get me wrong, having a storyline is very important, but having something so heavy was scary. So I wanted to do a story that was like fun and lighthearted and kind of focused on like the slice of life. Like, if you were in a magical college, what would it be like? You know, obviously there's horribly scary, daunting things like bills, debt, and taxes, but we don't go too deep into those.
Very cool.
But they are present in the world.
Hold on. Yeah, we have a question. Raven, what is best in life?
Best in life? I have a bearded dragon, and I would say he is best in life. He's my number one, my little
awesome.
beardy buddy.
What's his name?
His name is Pietro, but we've ended up evolving the name into just Yeti somehow, so he's my little Yeti.
That's pretty funny. Cool.
By the way, there's only one answer to that question.
Oh. Do tell.
That was a Conan reference.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Vinny
I'm so
knows,
bad
right,
with
Vinny?
references.
Yes, of course. But we're not going to have a Raven going through that.
Come on.
Why would he ask that for a project like that? This isn't barbarians.
No, this is just little magical witches. I'm sorry. If it's the wrong answer, I'm just gonna give you a lizard as an answer. That's what we
I
get.
think he's trying to say that this innocent visage is a front. She's really a savage woman that likes to.
She's a lady of war.
Yes. Crush your enemies, see them driven before
with some
her.
chili in it, yeah.
And hear the lamentations of the women. You know it.
Of course.
Oh my God. That's too much. So cool, yeah. So yeah, you were talking about earlier too. Well, before we went on stream. So what kind of games and stuff did any video games inspire this as well, or is it just like Harry Potter and like anime things?
Yeah, it was mostly like Harry Potter and anime. There are some games like Animal Crossing. I loved that game. I love simulator games. I'm a big nerd about it. I love little games where I can micromanage a whole bunch of stuff. It's part of my obsession with planning and numbers and things like that.
Oh, cool.
So Animal Crossing, like how relaxing it was, and the dialogue, the interactions that the characters have. I really wanted that. I wanted you to be able to pick up Machi, zone out, and just be at peace. Like, not stressed, not anything else. Right now, you're just looking at some cute magical stuff. You're just relaxing.
I like that. And that's very cool to hear too, that you're very good with managing numbers and stuff. I might have to pull you in and work with me because I Lord knows I need help with managing some stuff. I've been juggling everything by myself.
Don't do that to yourself if you don't have to.
Yeah, people keep telling me that. I'm like, I don't know anybody who's good enough with numbers and things.
Well,
and
that's my thing. So I got you covered. I'm also admin for this comic company, Offshoot Comics, and they're partnered with Starburns, the guys who do the Rick and Morty comics. So I'm their admin. So
that's very cool.
I would love to be of assistance. You just let me know.
Sweet. Yeah, definitely. Like Billy and Niall said, you're part of the crowdfunding family now.
I'm so happy to be here. Thank you.
So start volunteering.
Volunteer your services. No,
I'll do my part.
We're good. But yeah, like I said, as all these campaigns do better and better, everyone's gonna be helping out, all us creators, which is definitely a great thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the better we do, the less freelance work we have to take, and the more of these awesome projects we get to work on.
Absolutely. Don't get me wrong. I love doing the freelance, but the past month I've shut down all of my commissions and I've been just working on Machi, and it's been so fulfilling. Like, this is what little baby Raven had dreamed of. So I'm living the dream working on this, and it's the greatest feeling, and I'm so fortunate to have people who supported it.
I agree. It's a beautiful thing for sure. Because even like when people go, Vin, how do you still have your campaign in demand? I mean, aren't you still working on other stuff? You gotta, because they know I'm mailing out everything and doing drawings and stuff. I'm like, yeah. I don't mind it. This week I had a couple more drawings I had to do for my campaign. And and it was a joy to work on. Like I'm not doing big company characters who've been, beaten down so hard that it's painful sometimes when I go to conventions and people ask me draw a Spider-Man, draw something like that.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I'm sick of these characters. Well,
Mm-hmm.
what's been going on in the industry? I'm like, no, I kind of rather do my own thing.
Yeah, it's like, let me show you my character. They're
Right.
just as capable, I promise.
Yeah, you see him in a whole different light. It's like when your woman leaves you for another woman.
Well, I was gonna go a little bit friendlier. Like when you see how the cookies are made, it's not as special anymore.
Yeah. There you go.
Like my time at McFarlane. After I saw how things are made, like it's not as special to me anymore.
The magic is ruined.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a silly and crazy thing, but yeah, I know we were chatting a little bit beforehand about that. Yeah, if you had any questions or anything.
Yeah, one thing I wanted to ask. So when I designed Machi, my base was I want to give her some weird hair. Like that's my favorite thing is to just start with like a hairstyle and kind of build the character around it with their personality in mind, obviously. But like I start with like the hair in mind first. Like, do you have anything like that you do?
Yeah, when it comes down to a specific character, yeah, or like a theme that has to kind of, even aside from toys, just creating in general. I do stuff like that. Like I'll break down a look that I want a certain character to have. So like currently the part when I'm working on, I wanted the two main characters to kind of have a good play off of one another in color scheme.
Oh yes.
In design itself, they should complement one another. So I kind of went like with that aspect, but then it's trying to see like what's aesthetically pleasing to the eye as well.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, like your character, I think it's a very good design because you know who it is right away. So you're welcome. The pumpkin bun that stands out. The eyes, the eyebrows. You have a specific look, I think, that works. So anyone who sees this type of a style or your character, I think they could definitely say, "Oh, that's a Raven Monroe drawing." Totally,
Oh, plus that means so much. Like I'm not gonna like fangirl right now, but that means so much.
No, that's absolutely it. I mean, you want to have something that's people could relate to, or they're just going to be driven towards, even if they don't know it. So there's people who might not know that much about artwork, but like color and design wise, like you have everything like complements one another. It stands out clearly. Again, that's another reason why I invited you on. It's because I saw something that I think a lot of people would dig. The more eyes, the better on a project like this. But yeah, I'm all about that kind of clean, good aesthetic. Someone who's cool, has a lot of great energy, which you clearly do.
Oh gosh, thank you.
You're very welcome. But yeah, going back to design wise,
right.
Yeah, if it is a specific thing, like we were talking about that Viking Age, that Dark Age Spawn line was doing.
Yeah.
They wanted a certain look, so there's a couple characters that they kind of jump around. I think a little bit in time, and there's in the story itself. So some people had like medieval type armor. There's others had more like a Viking look or a barbarian look.
Right.
So like you'll break it down that way to see what's going to work better. There was like a warrior angel that I had a design. So I made sure since it's an angel, she should look very beautiful, and we did something special with it. I gave her like wings coming out of her hair, like it's like out of the sides of her head, sort of.
Oh,
so
nice.
It's like her hair, like you'll see the wings coming out beyond the hair.
That's a really cool. I'm envisioning that now. That sounds so cool.
I had posted a few up. I know I have some on my Deviantart. If you guys want to keep chat, I can even pull it up. I'll look for it.
Yeah, Red. Same question to you. Like, is there anything that you look for in character design that kind of like really catches your eye?
Like specifically looking, no, but there are certain things that will catch my eye, like well, I don't even know where to start. I just kind of like if I just hit something and it's appealing to me, like, you know what I mean? Like I know what's appealing to me. Like I don't know, throw out Cyberfrog for an example. Like I
Oh,
don't,
yes.
I wasn't, I've never really heard of it before. I wasn't all that interested, but when he came up with the new design, that was appealing to me. So I was like, yeah, that's cool. I can get behind this. Um,
Oh yeah, so yeah, there it is.
Look at that.
Yeah, so it's stuff like that. So like breaking down certain looks, and yeah, you want something that looks angelic, something that's a little special. If you know stuff that's like how Todd was doing Angels and Spawn, got to give a touch of that. But since it's a period piece, you want to have like the furs in there,
Mm-hmm.
that type of look, that aesthetic. But yeah, it's got to be what's clean and clear as well.
Right, right.
Not
And
to cut, well, not to cut Red off, but
oh no, you're good, man. Go ahead.
yeah,
I can finish up later.
yeah. But yeah, it's about that, and like he was saying, what kind of catches your eye?
mm-hmm.
A cool look, a cool design. Like Cyberfrog is really an amazing design. Like I knew nothing about the character either until I started seeing the campaign, and then like you see all the detail that's in there. I did a couple of drawings of the character, and Ethan loved it too, what I did. But it's fun and it's interesting, especially to jump on something that you've never really done before. And you can kind of feel like what the creator was going with, or what they wanted to really, what brings about the character, So he's got like, those cool shoulder pads, and that frog look. So you could go very like Spider-Man-esque with the poses.
Yeah.
There's definitely a fun thing you can do with it. So, again, just as an example, but so yeah, here's another one. This was the main Spawn in the line. So like, I originally just wanted him to be a straight up barbarian looking Viking dude, but then they said like you got to add the Spawn elements. So like their thing is that you definitely has to have a big red cape, because he wasn't really going to have a cape, but they went, all right, let's do one. So like we ripped it up a bit.
Mm-hmm.
One of my original drawings, I had like that right hand was actually pulling on part of the cape, because Ty wanted more like statues. He didn't really like articulation at the time, but we decided like we'll slip in more articulation in this figure. So we had to like break down certain elements about it. So like underneath the shoulder pads, he's got like really ugly joints, but he's got really great motion in his arms.
Mm-hmm.
So we figured like with the fur we were putting in there, it could hide that kind of thing. But again, since he's a Spawn, they tacked on the knee pads. He needed one garbage pail boot. I don't know why Todd loves that, but he wants the boot, he gets the boot.
Hey, if Todd wants a boot, we get him a boot, ladies and gentlemen.
I got two for him.
There's certain iconic elements to Spawn that'll jump out at you. Like the cape is definitely one,
Right.
but like the shoulder spikes and the skull is another.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, usually the play on the mask, in some way, shape, or form, be it a helmet
Right.
or what have you.
True. Yeah. And at the time too, like in the comics, he was all the time whenever like Capullo was drawing him, he'd have him like with a mouth full of worms or maggots.
Ooh.
So that's what kind of his mouth was supposed to be closed. He was really like, I gotta find that drawing too. I've been meaning to do this and I keep forgetting since I moved so many times. I have like all my McFarlane drawings are in a box in the garage, and and it's buried. I haven't had a chance to go through them. People have been, hitting me up about that, but I'll find them. But like his original drawing, his teeth are clenched, and I did like a removable helmet as well. But when it went to China, they kind of did a big ugly pin on the top of his head. But
oh no!
Yeah, we figured a way where we could actually take it off, and then like if you cut it and you could fill it in, a little bit of customizing, but you could still have it with removable or not. But if you buy it somewhere on eBay now, it's pinned and glued. And here, this was funny. This character I did, he actually made an appearance in Spawn issue 301, the record-breaking book.
Oh yes.
Yeah, he's in the foreground. So one of my designs from like 10 years ago made it into the book, into the record-breaking book, which I thought was hilarious.
Oh, I've got a copy of it over here. I went to Comic-Con earlier this year, and Todd was there, and I was working for Bandai doing some of their booth stuff, and
Nice.
my boyfriend, he went around just having a good time, and he went to one of Todd's panels, and Todd had like 3 penciled in pages, and he was like, hey, who wants to ink these? And my boyfriend's so confident, he just ran up there and he was like, I'm gonna do it. So he did it, and it got put in the book apparently. We can't find his name in there, but it's in there. We think
it better be in there. I know. I saw a video he was doing that. He did it at a couple different places where they had like even like J. Scott Campbell.
J. Scott.
Well, they had some of the pages that he had done, because
Mhm.
I remember he said if you're doing a cover on the book, you're going to be doing some interior pages. So any of those big names that you saw who did a cover, they also did interior.
Oh,
you know?
wow.
And someone, I saw one of the videos, someone was lucky enough to actually, I don't know, I would have been, dropping a brick going like, what? I'm gonna ink over J. Scott Campbell's art.
It is no.
What if I screw it up?
Yeah, not live in front of them. Like, give me some space.
Right? Oh my god!
I couldn't have done it. That is so daunting.
But that's awesome that your boyfriend got to do that.
I'm
very
so
cool.
jealous. He's got pictures of him with Todd as he's inking the pages, because he's like, no one's gonna believe this.
Nice.
And I was like, you're right, no one will. Good thing you have pictures.
Well, hey, if it's at a convention, somebody filmed it. So
Oh,
there's a record somewhere.
Oh yeah.
Here's another one of those characters that he did. So this guy was kind of like a troll looking thing. But they want him like
awesome
in the woods as a hunter, and you kind of go with that aesthetic, like what's going to kind of work. So but yeah, I thought it was pretty cool.
Heck yeah.
We went a bit into that. It's all good.
Could talk shop all day though.
Oh, I know. Please, I definitely can. With all the different jobs I've done in all different places.
Yeah, you have so much experience in the industry too, which is like, whoa.
Yeah, it's crazy because I should have been a very big name. I'm not saying it like to stroke an ego or nothing, because I'm not about that. But I was supposed to work with Mark Millar on Spider-Man, and 2 weeks before I signed the contract, Joe Quesada screwed me out of it. So it's those kind of things. Like if you ever hear me being vocal about somebody, it's usually that scumbag, because he also ripped off my artwork as well.
No, so that's terrible.
That's another reason why I prefer doing indie stuff anyway. Because I get to do my own stuff. No one could say boo to me about it. Red's always cracking the whip on me.
He's a good friend to have, though.
He's like, Vinny, those shorts need to be shorter on those girls.
But is he wrong?
I'm like, all right, you got it.
Listen, you've earned yourself a reputation. Raven, are you aware that you're speaking to the boner king of Comicsgate right now?
I was informed when we first started, and someone said, all hail, Mr. King. And I was like, oh my. So
El Gargoyle jumped on that one.
I bet he did.
It is an honor to be in your presence.
Yeah, hard-boiled. Ethan has mentioned something on a couple of streams. Since then, he hasn't said anything, but I don't know if he wants me to keep quiet about it anymore, but there may be something I'm doing. So,
ooh, stay tuned, ladies and gents.
That's all I could say about that.
That's so fun.
Which, it's definitely a cool thing.
All right, well, let me give you all the details.
Yeah, go for it.
No, that's a joke.
I was about to pull out my popcorn.
Oh, that's great. Oh yeah, I didn't know. Could I actually do video on here again? I don't remember.
You can. You just have to get rid of the screen, share it again, and click the little audio box.
Dang, Red got this down locked pat.
Yeah, he knows what he's talking about.
Nice.
Share screen.
You got to. I've made a fool out of myself enough times to learn how to do stuff.
Share audio. All right. So then when I'm done doing the video, do I have to unshare and then reshare again?
You don't necessarily have to. Some people say that it creates an echo in some people after the audio is shared and it's the video is done. Okay. I haven't personally heard it, but I've heard it from enough people to believe it and just cancel it and reshare anyway.
Well, let's hit a video and see if it works.
Oh.
I'll lower my volume in case. Maybe that's where the echo usually comes from.
Hey, I'm Machi. I'm a freshman at the Pendleton Art Institute for Gifted Witches. Though I wouldn't necessarily call myself gifted. I mean, I'm not really sure how we got accepted, but my big sister Raina is. She's really talented. Raina said that if I fail out of my first year, I'll have to start paying off my student loans straight away, and I can't really afford that. So I'm going to give it my all. I'm going to study really hard, and maybe I can make it into the Sacred Seven. They have a 100% chance of job placement after graduation. So I have 4 years until graduation, 5 hours until lunch, and my first class starts right now. Join Machi and her talented friends as they hone their skills, explore the magical world of college life, and compete in the cutthroat art industry of Pendleton AI. Between competing for a place amongst the Sacred Seven and hunting down the perfect familiar, you wouldn't want to miss out. Machi the Lazy Witch is a heartwarming story, showing that sometimes the only thing keeping you from reaching your goals is you. Spanish translation by the wonderful Stacey Rivera, editing by the amazing Cedric Harris, story and art made with love by Raven Monroe, and made possible with your support.
That was awesome. Very cool.
Thank you. Thank you.
Nice.
That audio, the background music, was actually done by a gentleman in the comments right now, Mr. Kyle Scott. Kyle is the main musical composer for the Machi series, so he does amazing work. Love this
Very
guy.
cool. Great
nice.
job.
Was that your voice?
No, that was actually the voice of another amazing person. Her name's Shiana. She's from North Korea, and she's like such a sweetheart. I love her so much. So she does the voices, and she's also on Twitter for if you guys need any work done. So highly
Nice.
recommend.
Hats off to them. That's really great. That was a beautiful little job.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh yeah, since we got video and audio working,
Yeah.
we'll show the City of Venus one that Red did,
Ooh.
which was very cool, and he voiced over. So I'm happy to have a computer that actually do this now.
City of Venus, Dead City. In a post-apocalyptic future where all technology is dead except for the city floating in the sky and those who inhabit it. The ultra-elite, the scientist, and the most brilliant of engineers who keep them above all others and have for centuries, along with a unique power source. Below are the experimented, mutated, and sick, and below that, the few living scavengers looking desperately to survive. Our story follows an unknown woman who was thrust into this world with little to no knowledge of how she got here. This mysterious woman may hold the key to the future of humanity's survival. City of Venus, Dead City, is a fully colored comic book with story, art, logo, and lettering by Vinnieart. It's a sci-fi adventure with extraordinary art, heart-pounding action, and gorgeous women. Do yourself a favor. Back City of Venus, Dead City, today.
You heard it here.
Well done.
Fantastic, Red.
Very well. Round of applause for Mr. Red, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, thank you.
So everybody, yeah, subscribe to Red Gaze's channel. Be part of the Gaze agenda and community.
Goodness.
He likes when I say that. That's part of his tag.
Oh yeah,
There you
get on
go.
board with that gaze agenda.
There you go. Yeah, you know it. And gorgeous women.
That's what got me
What?
cracking up. I was like, "Yep, that'll do
And,
it."
and the opening crotch shot.
Yeah. Yeah. That slow zoom out. I was like, "Okay."
that was not my choice. That was red, and I was like, you know what? Keep it. I don't
Had to
care.
happen.
Hey,
I had to do it.
Hey, listen, this video was submitted for review.
You can't improve upon perfection, though. So just gotta let it be.
Oh, everyone, you hear that? Raven knows what she's talking about.
I like to think I do sometimes.
So keep backing her project, please. You know, this is a great one. She's not asking for much. She's 1,500. She's almost there. 13 days left. Great tiers that you could choose from. Lots of cool stuff. So yeah, please give Raven some support. She's a cool person.
Thank you.
If you haven't heard that by now, I think you people are crazy. But, I'm sure anyone who's listening is going to be rewatching.
Yeah, listen, even if this is an act on her part, it's a damn good one and very convincing.
I don't get paid for acting, dearie. I can't afford it.
We're all starving artists here.
We're all just doing our best.
We're doing what we can. But yeah, this was a very cool conversation. Yeah, we went almost an hour and a half,
Yeah.
which is pretty good. I normally do about an hour, unless we got cool guests and we always go over. So this is a very cool guest.
Thank you.
So yeah, you're invited back anytime.
Hey, I
Red,
appreciate it.
Same thing with Red. Cool dude. He's always he's always here. I can't get rid of the guy.
Listen,
But
I
we
was
love
just been trying to enjoy my drink, and you're like, get in here.
You've been summoned.
You've been summoned.
He just appears. Poof.
The king called for you.
We must obey the king.
But anyway,
great.
yeah, we're all silly here, but it's all good fun.
Mhm.
And yeah, so please back these books. Thank you everybody who's in chat. You guys have been fantastic. Great questions, great people. And yeah, I'm going to be doing more videos. Keep an eye out for that. I might do, kind of my process on how I work as well.
Ooh, yes.
Yeah, I was thinking about doing that with this cover, but I had to pull up a lot of other shots from the previous book just to kind of get the colors down right, what I want to do with the characters. But because it's been, I'd done a Through the Woods piece. Again, I've been running, 3 other campaigns after that.
Good night. I don't know how you're managing it, man. I hope to get on your level one day. That's insane.
Yeah, I'm slowing down a little bit on the number of projects. I'm just going to be focusing now on getting these new ones done. Because again, it is a lot of amazing stuff I'm getting, and I want this story to be really down packed for people.
Mhm.
Since I'm going over in page count, yeah, it's a lot of hard work. So again, thank you everybody for the support. Keep supporting these great books.
Please,
Raven
thank you.
Monroe with Machi the Lazy Witch, issues 1 and 2. Back at today. Be kind. Peace out, everybody. Later.
Bye.
Peace.